Hi, this is Jim Akins again from the Noonday Association of Churches, and we're talking about planning to plant. And we talked last time about prayer as being the foundation point that you want to begin with. The second thing you want to move to, and the second P in my plan, is the person. Who is going to plant the church and who is called to plant a church? The first thing I tell you, if you're considering planting a church, you make sure of your calling. God calls out certain people to certain tasks, and it's different from pastoring. Church planting is certainly different from pastoring because sometimes there people with church planting gifts have a pioneering spirit. A pastor is largely a shepherd, and I found that the longer you can be a pioneer, the more successful you'll be as a church planter. And so first, consider your calling. What is your calling to do? And how are you looking at that calling? And the other thing is, when you're considering calling, is do others see that calling in you? Do others see that ability to go out and gather people and witness to people and be with people that would be looking for and needing a church? And then as you're considering that calling, you need to be assessed, and there's lots of ways that you can be assessed. One is an online assessment that the North American Mission Board has. And then there's a group assessment that you might do with Stadia or with the North American Mission Board or some other agency. But you want to be assessed so that others who have been in the church planting field can look at your gifts and talents and all the things that you're looking for, even your family life, and consider what it might be for you to plant a church. And then as you're considering that, you want to consider what is your giftedness. Do you have the spiritual gifts? Now, God can use any of those gifts to plant a church, but how would God use those, specifically in the area of preaching and evangelism and gathering people, teaching and discipleship? You'll need all of those gifts to be able to plant a church effectively and to gather people around the purpose that you have. But also, what are your natural talents? Have you had a chance to start something in your life? Have you had a chance to gather people around and build a team? Those are things that are going to be most important in your life. And then you need to consider, what is your passion? What is there a passion to plant a church? Is there a passion to see something new started and to see something that God's not doing in the community in which you might be called to? Because there's lots of churches. It's been said in the South that there's a church on almost every corner. But there's also a group of people out there that aren't attending those churches. And so there's lots of people out there to be reached. And then as you're also considering your gifts, what have you done in the past that would indicate that you can start something? Do you have an entrepreneurial spirit? I like to think of people who would reach out to people and start things from the very beginning. When I'm thinking of an entrepreneur, and it's not somebody who's going out as a sole church planter, it's somebody who has the ability to gather a team around them. Again, we're glad that you're viewing these videos, and hope that if you have that calling from God and you see yourself as a person that can plant, you would contact Noonday Association. You can contact me at jakins@noondaynet.org.